10 truths about marketing. 4 I wanted to pull out and underline and highlight. I think it's very, very important. English is not a great vocabulary of mine, even though it's the only language I know. I was at an event once in the South in America. Like, not South America, but like American South. Sometimes, Russ, I tongue-tie my words and I just say things weird. So when I finish, you're going to have to come up and translate for me, okay? You got me? So I was in the South of America, and I was talking about how segregation is so important. I was saying I love segregation. I was saying I'm a segregationist. Y'all should segregate your customers. Some of you right now are looking at horror. She's like, oh my God, he's a segregationist here, and I'm going to run. And then a lady got up and whispered to me. She said, darling, did you mean segmentation? I'm like, oh yes, I meant segmentation. So let me not make that mistake again. I'm not a segregationist, okay? But that would be weird, right, if a black guy was a segregationist. Anyways, y'all can laugh. It's okay. But the point being, that's what we should focus on. Hyper-segmentation of our customer base. I was on the phone with a marketing automation chat company, I'll call them for lack of a better word. And I was on the phone with them, and they addressed me like I was a big billion-dollar company, you know, like a Warner company. They addressed me like they talk about you. What are your KPIs of this? How do you do this? Who do you report to the executive suite? I'm like, whoa, buddy, slow down. I am the KPI. I am the executive suite. I am the senior VP of marketing. I am the junior VP of marketing. I am the associate director of marketing. In fact, I am the receptionist, the intern, and guess what? I'm even a founder. He was like, he breathed, and he's like, oh, dang. I just screwed his day up. So I said, here's what you're missing. You think I'm just a business owner. You put me in the bucket of business owner, not consumer. That's your mistake. But since you're a chat-bot automation company, we're on the phone, you're missing out on a critical part of your marketing. And that's the consultants, authors, coaches, and speaker market. There's a lot of us in that space. He had no clue, which to his credit, of course, that's why he was on the phone to learn. But do you feel what I mean? He didn't realize that was probably a segmentation of his customer base that he should consider marketing to specifically. You feel what I mean? Sometimes y'all feel what I mean or not? You don't have to be quiet, okay? I mean, it's like you don't have to be lonely on farmersonly.com. It's okay. You can talk back to me. So he forgot that there was other segments. Some of you right now are talking to your customers, how many females do we have? How many blacks do we have? How many whites do we have? And you stop there. Segment even more. Am I right? That's what y'all do with data. In a way, you help with that. Segment, right? When I go into channels like yours, I'm very focused. It's got to have a weapon, an American flag, and a terrorist got to be somewhere. That's it. That's all I want to see. Now, my wife, she's watching them with the music, you know, and they just talking all day around the table, having tea about she got divorced or her second husband, and her second husband had a baby's mama. You know those kind of shows I'm talking about. That's what my wife watches. I run from those shows unless I'm sitting with her and like, you know, you get what I'm saying. So my point is, segmentation is absolutely powerful. In fact, talking to Webinar Geek, right? Talking to Webinar Geek. I asked the team there at Webinar Geek, what makes you different? And I was going to call it out. Why shouldn't I use Zoom? You would think they could be, but they told me, yeah, we can compete with Zoom, but we specialize, right, in webinars that need privacy. If you have encrypted information, customer information, something that's confidential, something that nobody should know about, something you want to keep locked, you should see Webinar Geek. End of story. And then she told me, by the way, we're looking for a software development company, and we want them to be in Poland. So I gave them his card, and then he told me we need a database that can compress back-end databases. And I told him to see him. I'm joking about all that, but the point is. So do y'all feel what I'm saying? This is important to learn to segment, micro-segmenting, micro-targeting. Many of you are too broad, and you're stopping at just segmenting people at a high level. Segment more. Those of you who have multiple children, you know it's not like all children come here. Children are different. Old truth. Harvard Business Review. Old truth. You're competing with your competitors. That's what we think. Who's our competition? This person. You're competing with a competition. This person. Our competitors, another software development company. Our competitors, another webinar platform. Our competitor is another database compression company. It's not. To a degree, it's not. Do you know what the biggest competitor is? To a degree? Quoting here again what Harvard said, taken from this article. The lasting experience. That's something you all should consider. Me as a professional speaker and host, my clients say, Ramon is so easy to work with. That's how I compete. I'm not worried about the next speaker. There's a ton of great speakers out there. But I compete with myself. When I came here today, didn't I talk to you all in the back, the audio team? Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing? I gave Aaron a free. Usually I charge $5, Aaron. I gave Aaron a free back rub. Free. And he was like, oh, man. By the way, Aaron, can you just wave? Some people don't know who you are. Wave, Aaron. That's Aaron, the producer of this whole show. Can we right now turn around, give him a round of applause, and say, thank you, Aaron? That's the man who did it. People come up to Russ and giving Russ money, and I'm like, no, give that to me. And I'm like, you need to give it to Aaron. So that's Aaron, the one who produces this event. Thank you, Aaron, for bringing us all together. Thank you. So my point, indeed, one clap. That's a sad day. Anyways, so the thing to ask yourselves is, have we made our customer feel good? Maya Angelou, what did she say? It's not necessarily what you tell people can remember. That's easy. That remember not. But people remember a smile. The brief experience, which is why I keep shouting out our colleagues from Soft IQ. Yeah, Soft IQ, right? It's experience. We laugh, we joke a bit. Where's the lady who's very detailed? She's out there. Right? So my point is how people, when I came here today, Aaron's team, such a wonderful, warm greeting. Good morning, Ramon. How are you? I'm like, oh my God. Right? So this is the name of the game. Stop thinking necessarily about who our competitors are. We have to beat them. We have to beat the Z people. We have to beat the SY people. We got to beat all these. No. Just make people feel good. Make people feel good to remember you. And this scales. I know it's hard to a degree. But again, those of you who work at bigger brands, we have some law firm marketing here, other companies represented here, right? Radio stations here, right? From New Zealand. I got it right? Okay, good. Radio stations here, right? It's about make me feel good. This is the name of the game. Yes, you have competition. Sure. But can you invest just a little bit more in how you make me feel? I went to Men's Warehouse. I thought it was a great suit company until somebody told me that's like a ghetto brand. I'm like, oh, excuse me, I felt worthless. Anyways, really. See, some of y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I'm like, oh, I thought it was cool. But anyways, I went to Men's Warehouse with a friend of mine shopping for a suit. I cry very easily. I will never forget how they made me feel in that men's shoe store. This older gentleman was on his knees. I volunteered, and I brought an older friend of mine who has trouble walking, he can't see well. I brought him to the store to buy a suit, just to be his au pair for the day, whatever you want to call it, right? And so the other gentleman who worked at the suit, he was just on his knees, gently putting shoes on the other man. You can't beat that. You feel what I'm saying? You can't beat it. Do you feel what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't beat it. And then when I walked out of the store, do you know what one of the senior VPs of Men's Warehouse, they were having an executive team there, executive team meeting. As I'm walking out, he didn't know me. He just walked out with me and held the door. I was like, my brother, I will buy $10,000 suits from you. Oh, well, they don't sell $10,000 suits because they're a low margin brand. So I will buy $200 suits from you. It's how you make people feel. So marketers, how many of you, by the way, in the room, raise your hand loud if you know by far that you or your clients, your customers, whatever, that customer experience and people feel great after they have interaction with you. Anybody in that film? Few people. Good. Anybody shout out? Do you mind shouting out what you do? Would you mind? Talent manager. Very nice. Like you hire speakers and things like this? You hire people. So like maybe, do you know, like maybe you and I should do a thing together or something like that? Oh, okay. So your customers, so you make your customers feel great. Okay, do you mind? You raise your hand. Do you mind speaking? Just shout it out. That you have to be, if something happens, travel security, as you're taking out that weapon, nicely, sir, good morning. You should put down your weapon or it'll be a bad day. I have an avocado right? No, not you, but you play with me here. You get handcuffs, whatever. Everything is a good customer experience, am I right? Everything. And what you're doing, customer experience matters. I paid X dollars to have y'all and you late, treat me like chopped liver? No. So how you make people feel is important. Invest in that. The old truth, courting customers is just like dating. No. Harvard's saying that's old. The new truth, courting customers is like online dating. The more data, the more metrics you have. My son, he's married almost 2 years now. The Match.com connected him with a Hungarian girl. They've been happily married, and they have no kids and a dog. They're happily married to a girl from Budapest. Who would have thought? He's head over heels of her, and she's head over heels of him. So my point is, as you're able to understand the data behind your customers, you can then serve them, as you all know, you're in this field, serve and speak to them better. I was on Facebook, and there was an ad that was targeted to me so well. You saw these jacked up guys in beards behind a campfire. Horses went by and rifles and guns, and they were skinning an animal or something like this, and it was rough, and they were talking about how they almost fell off the cliff and broke their leg and died. And I was like, yes, I want to pay for that experience. They targeted me. How many of y'all like an experience like that? Some of y'all like, yeah, see, I knew it, right. I knew it, 2 people. Everybody else rushed, they're like, nah, we want marshmallows brought to our room with the campfire on the plate. How many want that experience? Yeah. TJ's like, yeah. All right, so keep that in mind. When we think about also experience, we'll mention the big e-commerce platform, Amazon, why they're rocking it, forgetting all their money and all those things. But one thing I must say that we can work on is, isn't it to a degree, I think, experience? When you call most people to cancel, when you call most companies with a problem, they don't want to talk to you. Am I right? They're afraid. It's like they're hiding from you. It's not the case with Amazon. You order something, it doesn't arrive, you go to the chat bot, in about 3 seconds, money refunded. Am I right? It's easy. Time is so short. I'll move on quickly here. Old truth. Your brand should stand behind great products. The new truth is your brand should stand behind great values. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are in, what's up, Kevin? Unfortunately or fortunately, we are in a divided America. That's just how it is. We got the black people here, the white people here, the Spanish people here, this people here, the gay people here, the straight people here, left-handed people here, right-handed people here, Democrats here, Republicans here, Trump people, MAGA people. We all divided. Sadly, that's how we are in America. We are so divided. But the point is, for marketers, that's not our problem. How do we capitalize on that? Look at brands, right? Black Rifle Coffee. Is that not already screaming to a certain segment? Am I right? For good or for bad. Hate them or like them. Aren't they taking a stand? We are Black Rifle Coffee for U.S. military veterans. I bet the coffee tastes the same as the best part of waking up is. Thank you. Only one. I bet the coffee's the same. I bet it's the same as Polish coffee for that matter. But they labeled it Black Rifle Coffee. That screams to what they're thinking of. Black Rifle Coffee versus Starbucks. It's coffee, 2 different brands. You have Patagonia, a certain brand they have, a certain values they stand for, versus Patriot Software. So am I saying that all of you need to put a flag in the ground and say, we stand for all these segments? Not necessarily. But you may want to consider in your marketing what you can hang your hat on. Maybe it's kindness. Maybe it's goodness. Maybe it's honesty. Whatever it may be. That's something you may want to consider. So many things I want to share. I want to leave time for questions if there are any. I think I'll move on for a few points and drill down into some pillars that I'm seeing in the realm of marketing. One is the power. If it'll be a fad or not, I don't know. But I've been on Clubhouse quite a bit. How many have experimented with, been on, or put money behind social audio in any way, shape, or form? Okay, great. I suggest you all, consider, I'm not saying do it, but consider if social audio is something you want to be a part of. Nothing beats being able to hear somebody's voice live and know you can engage with them live. I've been on calls with Tiffany Haddish, right? Popular actress, and et cetera, et cetera. So social audio is powerful. I'm in a club. If anybody wants help with that, want to talk to me about it, just email me. You can just Google me. My Instagram, by the way, is Ramon Ray Smart Hustle. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. If you're taking photos or video, tag me. I'll retag them and share them. Or you can just email me. You can go to RamonRay.com, RamonRay.com, and reach out to me through that website as well. Some of you, like the lady here said, Ramona, yes. Ramona's already connected to me on LinkedIn. So if I can serve you, by the way, if you have ways you want to have this conversation longer or me to come and speak at your events or things, just hit me up. I'd love to, and I'll be here afterwards. So my point is I'm in a group on Clubhouse called Breakfast with Champions. There are hundreds of people, each segment, thousands per 6 hours just in the room I'm in. Many of you get happy when you have 40 people, 10 people live in a webinar. I'm on Clubhouse with a show every Monday at 7:30 a.m. speaking to hundreds live and thousands on demand. I'm not saying all of you have to do social audio, but that's one trend, as it were, fad, it could be, or real, that you may want to consider. Telling stories, right? Right? On social audio. So if you need help with that, especially Clubhouse or otherwise, hit me up. Clubhouse. NFTs. I don't know much about them. I don't know if it's a fad. But from what I've seen, there is a growing community of people and communities that are in non-fungible tokens. And those that are in the NFT space are rabid. So NFTs is definitely something powerful to consider. How many of you already have bought NFTs? Anybody? Or your companies, anything in NFTs? A few, okay. Anybody know how to spell NFT? Okay, not many people. Okay. By the way, it's NFT. The other thing that I'm seeing is the rise of niche communities. Off Facebook, off LinkedIn, off Twitter, these are niche communities that are only in that app. One tool that I've seen is Mighty Networks. Some of you may use it, Mighty Networks. Not on Facebook. It's not on LinkedIn. It's its own private community. Jesse Itzler, the husband of Sarah Blakely, Spanx. Woo, 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 woo. Sorry, that was off color. I shouldn't have done that. People look at me like, oh, yuck. Okay, so anyways, Jesse Itzler, he has a closed network in Mighty Networks. Private network, kind of like a Discord, whatever. Thousands of are in there. I paid my money. I wanted to see what he's doing. $800 I paid. But the app can ping me. The app gives me notifications. It's closed. So closed networks for your brands could be interesting. Again, if I can serve in that way and have conversations like this, let me know to help you. Just DM me. And last point is beyond boring webinars. Many of you are doing webinars, and you have the tool, Webinar Geek. Did I say that enough times? Webinar Geek. But your webinars are boring. You have the same talking head in the same dumb background with the same dumb table and the same dumb lights with the same boring cadence to the same boring people with the same boring brand. Aren't you tired of that? One person's tired of that. I can see why now. Y'all like the boring stuff. It's time to change things up. Do online events, but all of you should up your game. You need to up your game. Stop being satisfied with mediocrity. It's the human to human connections. Didn't we connect today? What did we start by? Dale said, good morning. Didn't we connect today? Good morning. Did we not connect today? Good morning. Did we not connect today? The last thing I'll end on is the aspect of influencer marketing. It's growing. In fact, I have an influencer marketing summit I'll be putting on online. Just a discussion, a clinic. Anybody wants information on that, just DM me. DM me on IG, ask for my card. I'll give that to you if you want information, okay? Just raise your hand when I'm done here. But influencer marketing. Why is it so powerful? I'm seeing the rise in influencer marketing, which is part of what I do, because influencers do what? We tell stories. Influencers do what? We have communities. Influencers do what? We transfer brand trust. And again, Webinar Geek didn't ask me to do this. I just met some amazing sponsors, so that's why there's an affinity. That's why I'm saying their name. This is influencer marketing. Webinar Geek don't have to say jack. They don't have to say diddly. They don't even have to say squat. I'm already a fan. That's just it. So influencer marketing can help. Yes, you should spend the money on advertising and marketing and SEO and all this. But if you can find one or a team of influencers, fly a team to Poland to see your offices. Who knows? You get what I mean? And they go back and channel the experience to others. You can't beat that. Yeah, Cadillac spends money on Matthew McConaughey. Hey, I'm in a Cadillac. You can't beat that. We're driving on the road. That's why I have Cadillac. You can't, yeah, okay, that's part of it. But there's micro-influencers and others. So influencer marketing is a whole big thing. By the way, if anybody wants my tips and report on that, time is so short, just DM me on IG, DM me on LinkedIn, DM me, you can go to RamonRay.com and hit me up there, and I'm happy to send you that information on influencer marketing especially. So I think I'll end here. Bottom line, nothing beats the power of human connectivity. You're going to learn a lot today by our panel that's upcoming, and Russ and others are sharing things. A lot for you to pick from. But in this session, what I am honored to kick off the session today with is to remind us, all these tools are great, but do not forget it's about human relations. Do not forget it's about a smile. Do not forget it's about saying hello and a greeting. Never forget that. And if I can serve you in some way, remember, DM me. I'm happy to send you information on influencer marketing. We have things we're doing in that. Any of you want to engage me or work with me to speak at your events, I'm happy to do that with that. Thank you for attending DigiMarcon East 2022, baby. I'm Ramon Ray, and I am good. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.